Welcome back! Well, we have finally made it to Voices, the last installment of Rock 1, or Rock G1 as it's now called. I'm going to go ahead and try to solve it. I've looked at it off screen, I think I know how to do it now. But I haven't had a successful attempt yet. I think I know what it involves. I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything this time. But the solution is quite a doozy, and it is quite awesome too. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Sokoban room and take care of all the stuff there. Thankfully, this solution is not difficult to execute per se. It's just that it involves a lot of remembering things, which is a good challenge because I like that. And thankfully, everything in this level is completely logical. You don't really have to actually guess when it comes to figuring this all out. I know Rock likes to call a lot of puzzles hidden guesswork, but to be honest, I don't really believe there's really any such thing when you can easily figure it out. Well, not easily, but theoretically figure it out with all the information you need. If something's off screen and you can't see it, like a block checkerboard or something like that, I would call that guesswork, but this sort of thing I would not say is guesswork. I mean, it's very well designed. I really personally enjoyed figuring this out myself. And it's just an all-around great level. I mean, I enjoy the design. The design is just very organic. I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but I really do mean it here. I mean, it's a very appropriate word for this level. It's just very well designed. The rooms have just a nice flow to them, just very atmospheric with the teeth watching you. And overall, it's just a very fun experience to play. So what I'm going to do now is the hard part. Basically, the core of this level is getting blocks to a few interesting places here. And this can be quite an interesting twist, because it involves something rather unexpected. So the first order of business is to get that bottom fireball out from its little niche there and down into the bomb guarding the red key. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these two. I'm going to put one up there at the top and put one down the bottom. Like this. That way we got all of them bouncing around like that, and they won't really get in the way. At least not much. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this block and position it down here. Then I'm going to get the red key, if I remember this right. I'm going to get the red key over here, because we will need that to do some partial posting down at the bottom. And clone yet another block. Thankfully, Rock didn't make this so rigid that you have to make a move with that other block there every time you move into the room. You can do it at your own pace for the most part. So I really appreciated that, Rock. That was very nice. I'm beginning to like more levels now that aren't so super rigid. I used to like designing super rigid levels, but now I understand that that's probably not such a good idea. Okay, so now I'm going to fill up that water space in there, guarding the teeth monster, which we're going to need, and I will explain why here in a minute. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to get blocks over here, take care of the partial posting. And yes, we will need fireballs to blow that up. Thankfully, though, this is not that difficult, because what we need to do here... Wait a second. Did I just say not that difficult? Okay, yeah, it's doable. Just want to make sure I can... Wait, no, I can't extract this after I get back. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, we'll need to wait on the green key for now. Unfortunate, but let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and try to do something here. So the block's there. That's not it's not anything that will doom us here in any way. Because I just want to make sure I get everything in place so that I can direct the fireballs down here without too much of an issue. I'm just going to put this over here where we'll need one first, which will be near those bombs. Then I think after that we'll be ready to roll, more or less. Oh, right. Yeah, okay, yeah, we don't need to worry about this block anymore. We can just trap it there. You'll see why in a minute. So here's where the interesting part comes in. I discovered that contrary to my original theory that you needed to get a fireball up there into the tank button, you need to get the teeth monster up there. Now initially, my natural instinct was that that was impossible because of the controller and boss glitch, when in actuality, it's completely possible because the controller for the teeth is actually the ball guarding the paramecium room. The ball that's bouncing up and down. And this is very clever because as players who are familiar with the game, we think that the controller would be a ball in a trap or something like that, when really it's not. So Rock, props to you for making this totally not obvious. I mean, it was very well set up. I really enjoyed that little misdirection there. And right now, I don't believe we really need to worry about redirecting the fireballs right now, which we can't because of we need to push this there. So the fireballs, when they come down, are going to go here, move this direction, turn around there, then go back along the edge here, and go around. One will go to the bomb, and the other one I'm planning to use will go here to the toggle button, because that button will need to be used later on to get to the exits. So I believe if I got this right, I need to clone one more block, and then I'll be ready for some teeth action here. So let's go ahead and take care of that so we don't have to worry about coming back here after the teeth is released. There we go. Now let's go ahead and go back. I'll get the green key here in a minute, but not yet. Okay. I believe we are ready, so let's go ahead and start the teeth releasing here. And at this point, we just need to wait for it to get here, which I'm hoping will not mess up the fireball. Good, it did not. Okay, now for the tricky getting it up here part. There we go. See, simple as pie. Now, let's go ahead and head back into the room. Get one of our fireball buddies out of here. And of course, we need to take care of this little bit of business first. See, watch this. There we go. Done and done. We got the tank out of the way, and now we can take care of this part. There we go. Fireball is going to go ahead and head that direction. I can now push this here. Get access to another yellow key. And now the fireball will, or the teeth will be stuck there forever, which is a good thing. So right now I'm going to exit the room, get our block friend here, and then push it over to the trap button. And alternatively, you could also use a fireball to do this if you had saved yet another one. Or even if you didn't, I don't think... Yeah, you could use one before you put that other block down there in the corner. So now I can get the green key, which will be useful. And now I can push this block into the water. Or wait, before we move on, let me clone the last block so we can take care of that already. This would be really fun to optimize. And let me go ahead and head up this way to get this into the water over here. I still need to get that other yellow key there. Better not forget about that. And now, I believe what we can do is set this up down here. And I think we'll be set. I think this will be ready for the last fireball. Let me make sure we were successful. Good, we got that. Okay, so I think we're in place for everything to work. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back in through this door. I believe this is the way. So we'll need the other recessed wall to push the block down in the tank area. Okay, so now let me get this over here, Send the fireball down there. Okay, now let me push this over here and get this key. Yep, and the fireball was successful. Good, good, good. And I think we've got this, guys. I think we're on our way to victory here. The only real challenge that remains now is dodging that teeth at the bottom, which hopefully won't be too difficult. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of all this now. Fireball is in place. We just need our final yellow key over here. And now we're ready to begin the giant chip collecting session here. Well, hopefully we can take care of this first, though. There we go. That wasn't hard. And we can just easily scoop up the remaining chips. Awesome. I don't really know what that final blue key was meant to be used for, or the pop-up walls there. There we go. And we are done. Voices solved. So Rock, congratulations. This was an incredible level. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was very fun, very challenging, but thankfully doable and not overly diabolical. And we are not going to hit the ice and chill out because the game's going to crash. So anyway, that's my Let's Play of Rock1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. It was a really fun level set with some great challenges, some great levels. A lot of the levels I felt would be great CCLP1 candidates. CCLP1, for those of you who don't know, is an upcoming level set that's supposed to be a substitute for Chips Challenge 1, which can be downloaded legally with Tile World, or whatever incarnation of Chips Challenge will be distributed freely in the future. And it's looking like a lot of the levels that will be submitted for it will be geared toward beginners. And to be honest, I really think we need that, because I think a lot of easy levels have been so underrated lately by the community, because we've all grown up playing rather difficult levels since we've gotten used to the game and have had experience with it. And a lot of the levels in this particular set, I feel, are really good. I really feel like levels like the Inner Plague and Maelstrom and other such ones make for some good challenges that aren't too difficult. There are a few that are a little bit irritating, such as Chaos in Motion, and to a certain extent, the old version of Panic at Floor 11. I think to a large extent, it's still a little bit rigid on the time, but it's still a very fun level if you're an experienced player, which is the case for a lot of the dodging in this set. I felt like some of it was a little overboard, but thankfully, since this Let's Play, Rock has corrected some of the more upsetting aspects of the dodging. And a lot of the levels overall are very fun. I really enjoyed Exit Ice Left, the Argonoid levels, or the Parkanoid. I think there's Parkanoid and there's Argonoid, I forgot. There was also Assassin, which I really enjoyed a lot. Mine Cluster was still one of my favorite puzzle levels, and I think it would make a great CCLP1 level, providing that the teeth section was made a little bit easier and that vertical bouncing ball was removed entirely. Also, I really enjoyed the final level, as I mentioned before, as well as some of the levels in the 50s, which I felt were the best decade. Judas's Last Move was an interesting level in the sense that it made a lot of interesting it made for a lot of interesting gameplay with such a small amount of space. And the fact that, you can be creative with that limited amount of room in which to move is quite a testament to good level design. Also, there are some, very aesthetically interesting levels, such as the day Nymphaeas were created, and Mnemonic Ice was very fun, if a bit easy, which was, of course, a very welcome attribute for CCLP1 levels. I'm sure there's a lot of levels I'm forgetting here in this little wrap-up, but overall, this set was very good. I would rate it 3.75 out of 5, and that's actually saying quite a bit, because hardly any level sets in my book make it past 3.5. I think if it would get a 4, if there was a few more issues that were dealt with, such as a few more irritating dodging things, I still think Fire Streets is a tad too difficult, and Panic at 411 is still a bit tough on the time limits. But overall, these levels have incredible design, some great aesthetics, great gameplay, and it's got a nice balance toward the very end between puzzle and dodging. I really enjoyed Overlap. That was the other level I forgot about. As well as Artifacts. It was a very nice take on the whole underground aesthetic from the original game, without being too overly derivative of some of the other levels that have tried to attempt that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this LP up for good and move on to something else in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody.